Hey, hey, hey! We're doing weekly prep demo. In 2 hours, we'll make 10 meals. Got it for you in just 9.5 minutes, though. There's my list. And the ever so handy iPad that houses all my little recipes. So in the next 2 hours, we're going to make almond-flax crackers, ranch dressing, Pandorable pesto, a snut salad topper, pod Latin blend, hummus, my Pandorable patty, a soy curled chicken salad, popcorn, black bean brownies, and the barbecue sauce, which you won't actually get to see. So those are flax crackers going in. They've been nicely scored so that when I flip them, they don't create a big mess. And everything is timed in an order. So in other words, I take the recipes that are going to take the longest to make, and I make those first. So those almond crackers take about 1.5 hours to make. So those go in the oven while I'm doing everything else. Now what you see me doing is putting all the ingredients together. So when I cook, especially when I'm doing meal prep like this, I take all the ingredients, put them in one spot for each recipe. So right now we're doing the ranch dressing, so all the ingredients for the ranch dressing are right there. So normally what you'd see on a cooking channel is everybody has it on everything's in a mise en place, meaning that you have everything portioned out and whatever. But this is my actual real way of cooking. So everything's not pre-measured and all pretty for you. So you get to see how it's done like in the real world, so that hopefully you can do the same thing. What I'm trying to show you is how much you can actually get done in 2 hours so that you know that you can do weekly prep. These are all items that we use throughout the week. We'll eat crackers throughout the week. The ranch dressing goes on pretty much everything. And since we eat a lot of salads, the snuts recipe that I'm going to show you is imperative that we have it around the house. I think we pretty much put ranch dressing on everything too. So that's a weekly or bi-weekly prep idea. So I just put everything in the blender, as you know, just measuring it. Stick it on high, puree it so that everything's all ooey-gooey and mixed together. And this is a vegan dressing. I do have an option where I use cashews instead of mayo. I can't lie, during the pandemic it was hard to find mayonnaise, at least the vegan time. So sometimes we had to use the cashew recipe. So you just put everything in there. Now we're making the basil cream. This is actual fresh basil that's on our back deck. I cut it at the nodes so that the basil grows back. You don't have to add that much salt if you don't want to. I know how much salt's in it, so I'll adjust all my other recipes to not have salt when I use that. Then I just started on a low puree and then eventually put it up to a high puree. That was lemon juice I put in there. I find it keeps the color brighter, makes it fresh for longer periods of time. So that's why I added in there. Plus I just like that little zip it gives it. And there you have it. Voila. I dance. That's what I do in the kitchen. Especially when stuff tastes good. You'll see that later. Dancing's good for you. So here's the snuts recipe. Normally I do like to mix everything in a bowl first, all those wet ingredients. It's just like baking. Put the dry stuff in one bowl, put the wet stuff in another bowl, and then mix it. It does make it mix better. But this time I didn't do it, and they still worked out just fine. Mix it all up. This looks like one of those fancy videos we watch all the time. Then you put it in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you can bake these. But you put them in the air fryer, air fry them for about 10 minutes. I'll give you the recipe for that. And then while those are cooking, now I go and make the Latin blend. I created this for Rob using ingredients that he absolutely loves. So that's why it's called the pod Latin blend, because we are pea pods. 2 peas in a pod. Stick it in an airtight container, dance, shake, poof, there you have it. So by the time I was done with that, the nuts were done, and there you have them. Now, the almond crackers are still cooking, by the way. I'll make hummus because that's a staple. Wraps, salads, crackers, especially if you get crackers in the store that have absolutely no flavor. Hummus is key. You can also use it as like a mayonnaise. I've heard people do that. I actually had a friend that mixed it with eggs. 4 cloves of garlic. Yes, 4. Please don't skimp out on the garlic. It's one of the key ingredients that makes my hummus taste better than the crap you get in the grocery store. Hummus needs garlic. I don't add oil. It's very simple ingredients. Only a few. No weird spices. I've seen all kinds of weird stuff go into hummus. Just keep it simple. People like it. I also don't measure, so I apologize. You don't get the recipe for my hummus because I don't actually measure ingredients and I have no idea what to tell you to put in it other than those ingredients. It's Zen cooking. Give that hummus a whirl. I could tell that it didn't have enough tahini because I know the color and the texture and what it's supposed to look like because I've made this stuff professionally for health food stores since 2005. So I know what people expect and what we like. Hello. And is it good? Oh, yes. There's the seal of approval. That's how my husband knows it tastes good. That's how he knows he can have some. So now we're going to make veggie burgers. If it's just for us, I don't clean out the food processor in between. It's just going to be a little bit of hummus in there with the bean burger. It just adds flavor. What's the point? These burgers actually took me 20 years to perfect, and it was thanks to a customer that came into a health food store that I worked at, or a little cafe, that I actually finally perfected this. So thank you, Vic. These are easy veggie burgers. I make them weekly. Those are frozen veggies. This is the really easy version. Of course, you can chop up fresh veggies and use those if you want. They just have to be cut up about that size. I like these vegetables because they just cook really fast and I can throw them in the food processor. So that 3/4 cup of liquid there and those spices are my preferred blend. It's a Cajun seasoning from Frontier. It's an organic spice blend. And then ketchup, mustard, and vegan Worcestershire. That's my mix of preference. You can use barbecue sauce, which we do sometimes. So you can shape these, and the recipe I'll give you has different sizes. I do make different sizes burgers. Those are full-size patties. You see that I made some sliders in there and some what we call meatballs, but we like to have all those options on hand. This is where I make a his and hers. I was trying the new Tuna from Good Catch, and that was his soy curl chicken salad, which is also kind of a staple around here. Easy peasy. Soy curls that are seasoned with a little poultry seasoning, and then some mayonnaise and mustard. Now we're making the black bean brownies, and yes, those Almond-flax crackers are still cooking. So you mix everything, dry in one bowl, wet in another. Those are black beans. Believe it or not, you can't actually taste them. Mix it up, put it in, bake it, and voila.